Well, hello. Hey, howdy. I'm Ken, local Fox. If it's your first time here, I'm a very low-energy streamer thanks to a little thing called sleep disorders. I focus on RPGs, mostly first plays, though I do play other things, and I love to play old favorites on stream when I can. And today, we are continuing with our playtest campaign for my furry space adventure sci-fi TTRPG, Furry Babes in High Orbit, with my friends Deimos, Zane, and Zira. This is session 4, and there will be a short recap just before we begin for any that might need it. I do have to apologize in advance, as the nature of running a tabletop RPG does mean I will largely be unable to talk with chat. Thank you for your understanding, and thank you for joining us today. Well, hello. Okay. Welcome to session 4 of Furry Babes in High Orbit. We're going to introduce our characters, starting at the top of the voice chat with Deimos.
Hi, I'm Zira.
Ooh, identity thief. Give me back my purple dragon.
Hi, I'm Tarrant, or Deimos, or however you like it. I am currently playing Perul, who has been given some degree of authority, well, let's say authority, not being arrested by the SES. I'm helping. And that means that I don't get to be put in jail, and everyone's happy. Also, I get off this planet. I don't want to be on this planet anymore.
You're helping, and not only do you get to avoid jail, but you get to keep your gun.
That's true.
It really doesn't get any better than this. Next.
Hello, I am Zane Zendel, and I am playing Alula, the medical officer, who is having a really bad day. A really bad couple of days, to be honest. We fell from the sky, people are... There's, like, dogs or something that are attacking us, and people aren't shooting at us yet. I might have imagined that part, but I feel like they're going to start shooting at us soon.
There were defense drones in that last husk of a ship, so those were shooting, but
that's true. That is true. I don't like getting shot at. I put people back together when they are shot, and that requires me to not get shot. I do not need to be the people to put back together.
Especially since there are no other people to put you back together.
I'm also the only sane party member here.
How's that going for you?
Kari would take offense to that. She is quite sane.
You're right. I'm being too harsh.
From this quarter.
I'm being too harsh on the party. Ren and Hestia are fine.
Speaking of Kari, Zira?
I am Zira, or Zipper if you see me in chat. I am playing Kari, who is a security officer, who has a very nice knife, but is not allowed to use it without permission from Alula. My day has been going, well, not quite as bad as Alula's in some aspects, but worse in others. I got new friends. I like friends. We're getting
so what you're saying is your day isn't as bad because you get to be stranded on a planet with a cute bunny.
Maybe.
I mean, that's pretty good.
There are worse fates.
That's true. That is a pretty good...
Yeah, you can be stranded on a
doesn't
planet
have
with
benefit.
Kari.
Okay. So, to do a short recap of the last session, I also have basic commands new in chat. There's a Fabiho command, a synopsis command, and a recap command. For a quick recap, you can, at any time, you can put in exclamation point recap to get a small description of the last session, which I'm also going to go over. So in the last session, the crew had been tasked to investigate a broken down old husk of a ship, a freighter or a shipping vessel that had been carrying, well, it seemed like Fethrin war droids from the last galactic war, which, well, that's quite a long time ago, 200 years or more. Well, the idea was to get into the ship's systems and try to reestablish connection with the Frigga, or what remains of the Frigga in orbit, or at least the crew, who they assume is still up there. They managed to get their way through the ship and turn on the fission drive for the ship to, send message or what have you. But they couldn't breach the atmosphere. So with that in mind, they started looking for other options, and they discovered another energy source, a much more powerful energy source coming from the north. Hoping that it might somehow help to break through the interference, the crew went north and found another ancient ship. An entirely intact ancient ship that had only the smallest of breaches in the side that they were able to crawl through. Inside was an unbelievably advanced tech, which the group is assuming is from the Starfarers, which is a pretty good assumption. It looks like Starfarer tech. And they also met Adam, the ship's AI, who has offered to help them get together and get off-world back to their own people. And that's where we left off. So, as it stands, you are currently standing in the same room as Adam, who has just told you that he would help you. Hestia has been standing more or less in awe the whole time, and Ren has been very vigilant.
So I'm no archaeologist, but this is like one of those once-in-a-lifetime type finds, right?
Harry sort of shrugs.
Don't look at me.
Tech isn't really my thing.
Hestia just...
Everyone turns to Hestia.
Hestia just kind of turns slowly. Once in a millennia, maybe? This is unprecedented.
And we get to leave and never come back.
This amount of intact tech. Adam interrupts. I do have to inform you that, despite my offerings of help, I will have to ask you to vacate the ship soon, as there is... okay, sorry. I have had so little sleep this week. That's me, not Adam, by the way.
I can understand if he's a little sleep deprived.
That's true. My sensors detect patterns of bad weather incoming. I would recommend that you and your crew get back to your base of operations before the storm blows in.
Appreciate that recommendation. We should go.
So how are we getting off the planet, though?
I believe we were going to come back with everybody.
Okay.
Once you have gathered all of your crew and returned after the storms, I will help you locate a viable ship, and I will allow you to breach the planet's atmosphere to leave.
We appreciate all of that.
We'll go back. You better still be here when we get back.
Yeah. Peru snaps head to you. Wait, that's.
Knowing our luck?
I mean, not much we could do if it decides to not be here when we come back. But instead it would help. Let's go.
Perula and Alula make an identical noise.
Harmony.
I assume we start heading.
Well, if we do what it says, it's probably more likely to be here. So let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It takes more than a little
the
of
group begins to
cajoling.
leave.
It takes more than a little.
The group begins to leave, comes back, picks up Hestia, and
Yes, that is more or less exactly what was about to happen. All right, well, after some cajoling, the group manages to dislodge Hestia. And
So can anyone in this group pick Hestia up? Aren't the PAL units fairly heavy?
I think between the four of us, we can manage it.
yeah, between the four of you, you do manage to get her out of the ship. I wanted to see more.
You
You
will.
can see more when we come back.
Okay. That may be the most emotion you've ever heard Hestia put into any sentence.
The question in Kari's mind right now is Hestia gonna leave the planet with us? This is concerning.
Bold of you to assume it's going to be given a choice. So, all of your orange types like this?
You know, probably actually.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any of the girls in orange would actually be any easier to remove.
Except they
Well,
I assume they'd be lighter.
Yeah.
like I could pick up pretty much everyone else except Hestia.
She does eventually start walking on her own. It is a sad sight, but from here, you'll have to return to your camp would be to the south and the west.
We will head southwest.
All right. True to
All right,
Adam's
well,
word,
this-
the skies to the east are looking quite rough.
Ominous. How is this a weather phenomenon I'm
Oh, yes.
familiar with, or just regular storms, or something horrifying, or?
Yeah, Perul would have experienced a few of these. So every few years, the planet has a worldwide storm system that blows through. It's very rough, very windy, lots of rain, lots of lightning, funnel clouds. It's a mess, but they're survivable if you just get shelter.
Yeah, speaking as someone who's spent the last, assumedly, 2 of these, camping out in a ship.
Yep. These storms.
Oh dear, it's one of these. We move. Hurry.
You don't have to tell Alula twice. She understands storm bad.
That's true. Heading to the south and the west, the group does eventually stumble on. Well, okay, so the group has been very aware of the local wildlife, specifically the quill wolves, the strange quill-covered canids that have been chasing them all over the planet since they landed.
Considering Kari has several new scars from them,
Oh, yeah.
yes, very aware.
They have been being followed at a distance by these quill wolves. However, they seem to have lost sight of them or lost the track of them, and eventually have been come upon a small clearing with trees. In the clearing is a fairly large amount of small local wildlife that resemble white-furred terrestrial squirrels. Fairly large ones, about the size of a small dog.
Hollow Wispies.
Kari will look at Perul. Can we walk through these?
Okay, Perul.
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence check, and also, do you think you would have ranged out this far exploring before? This is
I mean, over the course of several decades, it's within a day's it's still within a day's travel of my base by the sound of things. So,
Okay.
yeah, almost certainly. But
Okay.
I haven't been to the specific area that other ship was, or else I'd probably have done something about
That's true.
done something unwise. But
These alien husk ships got me acting unwise.
Can't see any reason I wouldn't have been in this area.
All right. Well, in that case, give me. Do you have? Give me a survival check. Actually, you're much better at that.
Thanks. I'm much better at that.
Okay. Yeah, these little critters are very friendly. They're actually not hostile at all. However, you do know that the quill wolves tend to avoid them. And you haven't really seen why that is. But as your group enters the clearing, the little squirrel creatures do directly come up right to you and they sniff and make grabby hands.
Aww.
Kari will scritch any of them that let her as she keeps moving. Like, oh, no, they like scritches.
They lean right into it, in fact.
Look, we don't. I don't think we're really in need of more food right now. So,
What?
Fair. We do have a lot at the camp.
What?
As Ferul is speaking, one of the squirrels climbs up Alula's leg and onto her back.
What? Oh. Why would you want to eat them? You're mean.
Because of hunger? And we don't right
just
now.
just
We're not hungry.
look at her with the.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, if you wanna save one from bloody, that's a little ominous.
Have we been seeing miracles?
If you want to save one from the storm that's coming, you can carry it with you. But right now, I don't think we should be playing around.
We aren't stopping. We keep moving.
Good.
Okay.
Kari keeps an eye on the one that climbed up Alula to see if it plans to let go as we exit the clearing.
If it decides to stay, it decides to stay. You had...
All right. As the group,
Alula starts walking.
as you go to leave, the squirrel has not removed itself. You're passing by a group of trees. There is movement in the branches. And then a very loud whump as a massive, a gorilla-sized creature very similar to these with a massively powerful-looking upper torso and arms lands right behind Alula. It bellows loudly and swipes.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Let's see.
Maybe you should give it back its kid.
Why did it do that? Okay. It has swiped directly at Alula, but it was not enough to hit, which is good because as it is swinging through, it puts a large dent in a tree nearby.
The scream that Alula makes.
Kari would like to attempt to remove the fluffy thing from Alula without hurting it, to put it on the ground and then have us all run away.
The tiny ones are beginning to amass.
In what sense?
Gathering nearby the large one.
Okay, they can stay over there. Put it down. We run away.
If they were all gathering around us with suddenly hungry-looking eyes, I'd be
they're
more
looking
concerned.
at you. But yeah, give me a you're trying to remove it without hurting it. Give me an agility.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think
it
that
actually, it does in fact hop to your hands as you're going to move.
Oh, good. I'm trying to swiftly put it on the ground before it can decide to cling to me without hurting it. Like, we should go.
If I were playing a different character, I would have to stare this thing dead in the eyes and go bet.
Gladly, you're not playing that character. We should leave.
The thing is still going apeshit. Even as the critters make a path, it begins to charge. And I'm guessing the rest of you are going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perul has, made a bit of distance. She hasn't, kept running. She's turned around with a gun to be ready, but...
That's fair. Give me a speed check. That's everybody who's running.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot to use the... Oh, no.
No, I didn't. I used the correct... Okay, good. I did use the correct thing. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, what?
That was clearly a 0.6. I don't... What happened there?
Well, what's concerning me is that my speed is 85.
Ren and Peril are lagging behind.
Probably Alula, too.
Alula,
it's 83.
Then yes, Alula is also lagging behind. Hestia slows, seeing that the others have started lagging.
Kari also slows, does not want to leave them behind in any way.
All right, so we're going to have a single combat round as you decide what you're doing next. The creature is closing in, and it's still again after Alula since that was the one it attacked last time. As it's running forward, it is scooping a bunch of ground from under the a bunch of ground off into its hand and begins to throw it. Unsuccessfully. The rocks just fly right past Alula. You can give me another speed check if you want to keep running.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I would like to keep running.
Those of you who succeeded the first time, you have an action instead if you choose.
That's not me.
My speed is 65. I couldn't have cut that any closer.
If I can use my action to help someone else to not fall behind, that would be good. If
Okay,
anyone
Ren
needs
is
help.
still falling behind with an 89. So yeah, you can yeah, we'll say we'll just you'll be able to grab them and help them run.
Yeah, like how heavy is Ren?
Not nearly as heavy as Hestia.
Perul, if he'll shoot it, I look the other way.
I don't know if Adam will like that.
Are you sure? I thought they were cute and you wanted to keep it.
To be fair, it is still very cute, just very, very large.
And apparently pissed at us.
If I die, I'll haunt your gun. It will jam every time.
Is it?
Ooh.
How are we going with the getting away at this point?
You can keep running. It's going to keep chasing you unless something dissuades it. But for now, you will be able to keep.
Are there any sign of the smaller ones at this point, or are they all
They're
left well behind?
following behind the big one.
Oh, great. Does anyone have
Some of
a
them are
concussion
carrying.
bomb?
Some of them are carrying little rocks, which they are
Oh, good. It's
mimicking the large one in throwing.
yeah, monkey see, monkey do. Great.
I'm spinning around and lining up a shot is not something I can do with alacrity.
If you want to give it a try anyway, you can roll agility first.
Sure. You.
There will be a task 2 penalty, so you'll need a 60 or below.
That is not a 60 or below.
All right. Well, you haven't lost anything for the attempt. it just doesn't work out.
Yep.
All right. So instead,
I'm not exactly built to shoot on the run here.
Sure.
How heavy is Perul?
She's probably the lightest of you all, I'd imagine.
Yep.
How much
The gun
does...
Oh, I see. Hestia is offering to pick you up.
What?
It's like, if we can do a reverse piggyback so the gun is pointed the right way.
What? If you're gonna do it, then do it. Like, Perul is not processing this.
Oh, yeah.
Reverse?
Hestia easily, like, picks you up and you're carrying... yeah.
What?
She says, take your shot.
Okay.
Mobile
The
weapons
watting
platform.
continues. The watting continues, but the shot is taken. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh,
I think that's my gun gone.
the gun jams as you fire. Although, would you like to use a luck point to...
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
I was about to say, I haven't started haunting you yet.
Okay.
Stop haunting my gun! Is luck for just a straight reroll, or?
No, luck is to make sure it succeeds. I mean,
Well,
it's a limited resource, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what else is a limited resource? Us.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Did that have to roll under my luck in order to have it work?
No, that doesn't invoke a luck check. It's just a straight up use it to use it.
Okay.
At least in this case. Sometimes it'll require a luck check, but not in this case.
I am shooting to, like,
Dissuade?
going for a leg shot if possible.
Gotcha.
Or just...
All right, so Perul takes the shot. The squirrel thing ducks and rolls as the shot flies. Out of the way, but it has stopped moving forward after you. Instead, it is screaming after you as you make your way away.
It can scream all it likes, as long as it screams over there.
How did it know to do that?
Perul will, scream back a bunch of things which I will not repeat on this Christian stream.
Minecraft server.
Some of the smaller ones are still following and throwing tiny rocks, but they're not really that effective. They eventually break off and leave.
Yeah. I
Shame
can
then
see
that you
why.
hear howling at the distance.
Son of a... We just keep running. How far is the camp?
It's going to be a bit. So now you have quill wolves at your back. Seems that when you chased off the larger one, the wolves capitalized and decided to move in.
Come on, there's a whole lot of cute edible things back there. You don't want to...
There's at least 8 of them 5 feet from us 20 seconds ago. Eat them!
You are running. It is...
Yes.
I'm being carried.
True.
Running adjacent.
I think I was about to be put down, and then more howling and Hestia's like...
As you're running, the wolves eventually stop dead in their tracks. And they look agitated, pawing at the ground, but then refusing to move forward.
Oh, that's
Am I going to be really upset if I turn around?
concerning.
I'm running forward, so...
It's quiet.
Too quiet.
Or at least
Always.
it seems quiet until you begin to hear birdsong. And you hear other animal noises, animal sounds in a similar harmony.
I'm going to be really upset if I turn around, aren't I?
Everyone looking forward, you see smoke.
Like, that's not where our camp was it?
No, it is not where your camp was. This smoke. Well, you also see smoke and churned up ground. Something collided here.
Is this one of the escape pod crash sites?
If you had to guess, it looks like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's not nearly as upsetting.
Kari will call out, "Hello, is there anyone here still?" If we get closer to an actual pod.
Let's see. Where did I put? There it is. Actually, as you are nearing, you see some of the animals approach. There's a quill wolf and one of the squirrel things sitting right next to it. Not hostile, it would seem. And shortly after them, a figure in a orange SES uniform walking with them.
Familiar at all? It's a very big ship. I probably know very few of these people.
It is a gray squirrel with brown hair and with a streak of orange.
Oh.
None of you recognize her, but
I'd be concerned if I did. I'd be very concerned if I did.
yes. But she stops short, her eyes widen, and she says, "Alula, hi, hey."
Hi.
Howdy.
You don't recognize her
Hello.
any more than the others. It's good to see you. Could you help us? We need help.
Yes. I am looking at the others and just kind of.
We gotta go back to the main camp where a bunch of people have been gathered, and then take them all to another place where we have help to leave the planet. How are you doing this? Kari will ask while pointing at the quill wolf and the strange creature that comes with a mama that we don't like.
We come along. She turns and the creatures go with her.
Okay, but we don't have long. There's a storm coming and it's going to wipe us all out.
She leads you towards a very clearly a pod that has landed, one of the escape pods. It is in very bad shape. There are animals of all stripes perched on the pod, around the pod. Can I get a perception?
I can perceive things.
I would like to perceive things.
Well, attempt to perceive things.
Is it a hearing thing?
I
It
don't.
is not a hearing
I
thing.
perceive.
Is it a seeing thing?
It
No,
is.
it doesn't matter. I succeeded.
It is a seeing thing.
Do I succeed? I don't remember. Don't. What is with this within 1 point thing?
Yeah,
This
I see
time.
nothing.
My perception is 55.
So one thing you noticed, the SES uniform was torn to shreds. Not like fully torn to shreds. It was really torn up and banged up. Clearly they were in a pretty bad crash. They didn't seem injured at all, except for some scrapes, some scarring along the sides of their head. The animals in the area share similar markings on their heads, on their cheeks. Small growths, it looks like.
I'm
SES
not
uniform.
going near that.
The officer leads to the head of the escape pod and beckons you to join her.
Alula does not notice anything is wrong.
Kari
Neither
certainly
does
doesn't.
Kari. Absolutely not. Kari is like, all right, what's inside here then?
I'm gonna turn to Hestia.
Hestia has
All
not
right.
noticed anything. Ren is hanging back a little bit.
That's not normal, right? Like you notice the thing on their heads there? Like
Ren is nodding. Hestia
something.
does not seem to notice.
You'd think it would be the first thing I noticed. That's kind of my job.
Alula, Kari,
Huh?
could you just back up a bit, please?
Huh?
Why? What's going on?
The engineering officer turns back around and walks back towards your group. Alula,
Why?
are you...
Do you know her?
I look her up and I look her down and I am so sorry, but I don't actually remember you.
She blinks and looks confused for a moment, looks down. Oh, no, I guess you wouldn't. It's complicated. But you'll understand. Please, come along.
I am no longer approaching this.
Yeah. There are some things that are red flags in any genre.
She sighs. Look, we crashed here, and I don't know how to explain it. We don't know how to explain it. We woke up different. Please, we need your help.
Who is we? Like, who are you?
She gestures vaguely at the area.
Okay. I don't suppose with my perception being one off.
You know, when they pointed it out, you see the what looked like scar tissue at first now looks like the beginnings of growth that the animals in the area are exhibiting as well.
Before we go in there, I don't suppose she's pulling out her medical scanner. You could come here real quick.
She does. She approaches.
And Alula will scan this because what?
All right. It is difficult to differentiate at first, but there are mycelial roots growing from the scar tissue down into the brain.
Ah! That is a failure of bedside manner.
She puts her hand up to her cheek. Listen, I know it's different. We know it's different, but we still really need your help. There's injured in the escape pod.
Yeah, you really do need my help. Oh my. Just as a note, she is now going to walk over to one of the animals and give them a scan too.
It remains placid as you approach, turns in fact to you, and leans towards the scanner, as if to facilitate the event. The same effect. You do, mycelial roots growing into the brain.
Oh, I don't like the implications. I do not. Takes a deep breath.
Are we in trouble, Alula? Meanwhile, me, behind the character, breathing might not be what you want to do right now.
She kind of maybe holds her breath because she is bunny and she probably heard that.
Well, that was not. That was
And yet here we are.
I mean, they are good ears.
Okay. Oh. One of you come with me. The rest of you just keep an eye out.
You're safe here.
Kari will move up next to Alula. Do I need my knife?
No.
Damn.
Maybe.
Just
Not
gonna
yet.
Not volunteer for this, please and thank you.
Okay. Let's go.
She leads you to the entrance of the escape pod. The rest of you, or rather, Peril, you see that the animals in the area have been, they've been acting very docile.
Mm-hmm.
They're grouped together in ways that no animal on this planet normally would group together. Like the small squirrel things riding on top of squirrel
Yeah,
wolves.
there's something controlling all of this. That's there's some other power at play, and like this is not Pearl's wheelhouse, and really think we should just keep you going right now, but also Storm.
As the officer leads to the head of the escape pod, another figure appears at the door, another SES officer. This one is wearing a white uniform as a cat that you actually do recognize. This is Officer Allie, a fellow medical officer who you actually work with.
Oh, and she's also got a thing on her head, right?
Oh yeah, she also has the small growths on the side of her head.
So, is there anything in my medical training that could have prepared me for this?
Maybe esoteric, but nothing specific that you can think of. They blink in unison as you approach.
Hmm.
Ari, I think they're all mixed together.
That yes,
Can you help
that's
them?
the squirrel speaks up. Yes, that's true. Yes, we're together. There's a question mark on the end of that sentence. But inside, please.
Okay.
Can we
Keep your-
see inside before we actually go inside?
Yeah, if you wish. It's not. So the ship itself was not destroyed, but it was very clearly damaged inside. Everything is thrown around from the crash. There is someone laying in the middle of the floor. They have been propped up with a let's see. They've had their head propped up with pillows. There's a thermal blanket around them. They're bandaged up. They're in really bad shape, it looks like. It's
Alula is going to move right in because this is where training takes over.
This is something I know how to deal with.
Ari will follow. Keeping an eye on whatever can be kept an eye on.
There are other and there are animals in here as well, just placidly watching. There are fungal growths on the walls, and it looks like there was in fact a breach in the ship on the bottom where there is a fungal colony kind of growing out into the command
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I said I was going to approach the the injured, but that's going to make me stop.
The the two officers that were with you, one blinks, and the other the engineering one scavenges in their kit and pulls out a breath mask, offering it to you. If it
That is what I want, but also
Try scanning it.
I will in fact try scanning it.
they look a little sad that you went to scan it. You detect nothing wrong with it.
Sorry, it's just been nonstop peril, no offense, since I got here.
I like the idea of Alula like, it's been nonstop peril, pause to yell out of the ship. No offense!
Yeah, it's like, look, I appreciate that you want some trust, but the thing is that if I trust you and it turns out you're not trustworthy, real bad things happen, so you're just gonna have to live with that for the moment.
I will accept the mask and then put it on. And then it's time to treat. More specifically, it's time to find out if I should even bother with first aid and just go straight to the panacea. And I'm gonna do a little scan.
There's brain damage just from the scan immediately. You can tell the crash was hard on them. They must have hit their head, and they were not able to properly treat it.
Right, first aid out the window. Okay, I get out my injector.
Oh, you have panacea. Thank God.
I do. I'm going to apply it.
You apply the panacea, and their vitals.
Panacea, we can do.
Yeah, their vitals stabilize, and they remain unconscious. But I mean,
does panacea have an effect on brain damage?
Some.
Some.
A miracle drug.
It's a miracle drug for sure, but it also, there are limits to even what miracles can accomplish.
Still has limits.
You will need to get this person to a actual facility to properly treat their issues, but they are safe for now.
Can Kari look around? Does this pod look like it will withstand the storm coming?
So, okay, so the pod will probably be damaged, but it looks well enough intact. And from what you've seen of the other ships here, the ones that have been wrecked, the superficial damage on the outside has been heavy, but the actual insides, unless they have been here for a very long time, tend to be relatively intact.
Okay. So the storm is fierce if you're in it, but it seems like even just...
You need shelter, but yeah.
I will go ahead and double check my patient for any further necessary treatment.
So they do have broken limbs, ribs shattered. Again, panacea can only do so much. You can do the proper treatments for the rest of it now with first aid or surgery, whichever. Yeah.
This is one of those, you need the pod that just dunks you in panacea.
Yep.
And...
I will indeed perform a first aid.
All right, give me that roll.
No problem. Or maybe a little problem. I don't know.
Let me guess, 65?
75. It wasn't one off this time.
You managed to set the bones and get them on their way to recovery. Again, they will need more proper full care elsewhere, but you're confident that you have the issue under control for now.
All right. She's safe.
Thank you.
She will make it. Oh, do we have enough time to make it back to base camp?
Good question. Beryl, who has survival skills?
Yeah, I can definitely ask the question. I am nowhere near earshot in order to...
That's true.
To answer it. But I also am interested to know how far we are from base right now.
All right.
Incidentally.
I am distracted.
I mean, that's fair. It's a distracting situation.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, Perul's like, nudging Hestia and like, okay, so like, is there anything of this ship worth salvaging and taking home?
There would have been a complement of equipment for engineers and medical, but if the crash was bad enough, none of it may have been salvageable.
Yeah. We got medical... We got plenty of that as it is.
Sure. You got a whole ship of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just thinking of Kari is watching as Alula finishes up and it's like, are we gonna be able? We're not gonna be able to move them, right?
Alula, you think you have them in a stable enough condition to move. That was the good majority of what you did here was making them able to be moved, I think.
Should be safe to transport now. Before, it wouldn't have been a good idea at all, but the main issue is more whether or not she's safe to move in a storm. No.
I don't think any of us are safe to move in a storm.
Would
Did
you
the
like?
rule actually tell us what the storms were like?
Bad.
Alula understands bad storm, okay? Her definition of bad
Yeah,
is
like-
probably actually really similar.
Yeah, Parallel would probably be like, this is the sort of thing you spend. You get your supplies and you spend however long in the ship. First time I almost got caught out. Not pleasant. How many? How long are we talking this storm? Like a day, 2 days?
It varies, but 2 days
I
or
would
so
have through
is
maybe 2, maybe 3. So
yeah. So 2 days seems like the minimum
yeah.
for it to last. You don't know, given that roll, how soon it's going to come up on you. Does anyone else have survival or anything like that to check?
No.
No.
You can try to eyeball it at a penalty with perception.
It's not gonna end well for Kari, but she'll try. What would be the penalty?
I'm sure.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, were you asking anyone in the area about how long you had before the storms hit?
Yeah, I'm sure she said that out loud at least.
I think Alula just asked it straight up out loud.
In that case, the officers blink. There's confusion for a moment. Half a day?
We can make it in half a day, right? She doesn't even question where this information came from.
I mean, it took us less. How long did it take us to actually get to the ship in the first place?
It took a while, but at a brisk pace.
A while in days, a while in hours.
A while in convenience time.
Okay, it's like half a day. Did it take half a day for us to get to Adam's ship? Is the question.
Well, to be fair, you've been running for a good amount of time already, so
yeah.
You could make it back, you estimate, in half a day. It will be a brisk pace, but
has a sudden thought. Can you leave?
They look at each other. Yes? Hard to explain.
Oh boy, I'm sure though.
We are all them, they, us, we...
Okay, well, we can't take all of you, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, having some, some wolves, having some of the quill wolves to make other quill wolves stay back sounds...
I mostly meant at the end of the everything, we probably are not going to be able to take all of them.
They, one sighs, and then they both go silent for a moment, closing their eyes, and then opening them again. There's something different in the way they're looking at you now. They speak in unison.
Oh, good.
We didn't understand. We didn't understand what you were, what they were. We did not want to cause harm. We simply spread.
Well,
can you not spread?
We can disconnect.
Please, let them go. Please.
They nod. Before they came, we were not sapient. When they leave us, we will not be sapient. Please hurry.
Okay. So we get something set up to carry the injured one with us.
Yep.
This is one of those things where it's like any character I run, but Perul would have a completely different reaction. But Perul is just like, nope, out, they can go.
Okay, we need to. We need to remove her first.
Is there?
Who was on the floor? I just like patches up your wounds. Oh,
What was your name?
who is this again?
They were, to be fair, they were pretty completely covered up. They were a command role. You do not recognize them.
Is there any like stretchers or anything still left in any of the supplies of the ship that might have
Give me a
survived?
luck roll.
Oh, good. A luck roll. That's just a D10, right?
Yep, D10 under your luck, under your current luck.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, absolutely not. Moving on.
To be fair, it was very damaged in here, but you might be able to put something together, especially with Hestia and another engineer here.
Yeah.
Hestia!
We need a stretcher.
Oh, Hestia moves in. By the way, halfway to the ship,
What?
Hestia moves in. Halfway to approaching the ship, Hestia stops, puts Peril down, and heads into the ship. Because we,
yeah, the entire time. Yeah.
Peril has not been sitting. Yes, yeah, but Peril is still not going in there.
yeah,
That's fine.
Just watching those animals, like bouncing back and forth between watching the animals that are weirdly placid and the ones that are not willing to approach.
So, give her a little details about, hive bind mushrooms.
yeah.
And it warned us that it won't be sentient anymore once it releases them, and that might mean that two things, that it will try and reinfect us, and that also I would imagine that the animals might not be nice anymore.
I would like to point out that when you actually say that out loud, Kari has a exclamation moment of "Wait, what? That's what's going on? Wait a minute!" Kari didn't know.
The medical officer speaks up. We will remember, but we won't have that fine control anymore. We will not be hostile, but we cannot guarantee we won't simply attempt to take you back into the collective.
Okay.
Do you have to let him go here, or can you let him go when we're...
We can wait,
Yeah.
but our range is not far. You do realize
Okay.
that the wolves stopped at a very specific point.
Yes. Very well. Stretcher.
Hestia and the engineer and the medical officer get to work.
Well, currently the medical officer and the engineer are both.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah, it doesn't take too long for them to scrape together a rudimentary stretcher.
To the mushroom collective, Alula just says, "Thank you. I don't know if this is hard for you or not, but I appreciate it."
It is not something we do, but we do not wish harm.
Alula nods.
Interesting.
The
I have a carrot. Oh, go on.
the passenger is put to the stretcher. I mean, that's a horrible way of phrasing that. She is put on the stretcher, and
Now stretch them.
Hestia takes one side of the stretcher.
Kari will move forward to take the other side if
Probably
needed.
the wisest choice, because you have no idea the effect the disconnection is going to have.
Mm.
Okay. We're going to move a little ways away, and then if you would release them.
Kari will point out Ren, and I look between Alula and Perul. The sturdiest one is probably Alula, even though Perul is the one in security, Ren. You might want to try to help brace these two in case they collapse or something when it releases them.
Right.
What's going on?
We're leaving.
I like the way you think. Okay. Sort
They
of
might.
gets into position.
These two might fall. Don't let them.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah. That I understand. Perul takes a position on the side that isn't the growth on
Probably
the
a
face.
good plan.
Well, Lula will do something similar. It's okay. She knows martial arts. Don't ask why that's relevant.
It's okay, I know how to knife. Wait.
That's my job.
The group has them patched up. They are on the stretcher. Everyone is gathered, ready to go.
Ready to go.
More than ready to go.
As you do, some of the quill wolves begin to move north. The ones with the growths on their face begin to move north towards the direction you came from, towards where you suspect the quill wolves were stopped at before.
Interesting.
We will attempt to give you some time.
We appreciate that.
All right, moving southwest.
Here we go.
Yay!
After some distance walking, the officers with you stumble a little. They seem lightheaded.
Go to catch.
Yep. They pass out. And they're caught.
Yep. Well, kind of expected that.
A little bit. Will they wake back up?
They haven't
I
yet.
hope so.
Can you wake them back up?
I mean, yeah, that might do something. You don't know. But
Yep. Perul is going to use extreme medical, her extreme medical knowledge to whack. Just
all right, give me a,
wake up.
give me a luck roll on that.
Me or Perul?
Perul's trying to whack them awake. They don't wake up.
That would be a success if I hadn't spent a luck point earlier for.
Perul, stop, Perul.
You are all right. With that, your attention is brought back to the officers. There is a lot of very recent healing that has been done. Like, you saw how shredded their uniforms were. They very clearly healed from it, despite very clearly not having any access to Panacea.
Well, maybe the infection had some nice side effects. I don't know. It's better that they're in one piece. Still not great.
Speaking of not great, you hear howling.
Can we drag them?
You can still make
go
some
with
pace.
Carrie first.
Carry is a good idea.
Carry, yes. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Ren could probably carry somebody fairly easily.
Yeah.
Perul is like stick thin.
She is stick thin, like she's wiry.
Alula is medical. I guess you probably have some strength for holding people down.
Again, I am trained in martial arts, not in weight training. I can hold people down. I just, use leverage.
Well, you realize if I'm carrying this, I'm not shooting anything.
I'm hoping we can move fast enough to get back before shooting becomes necessary.
Let's just go. Let's go. I'll try my best.
We're going to get some speed checks out of everyone, just to see.
Want some strength checks for lifting, or we're just?
I don't think we'll need to worry about the.
Kari actually fails.
Oh, that is
Damn.
a bad person to fail.
It
was
is
a bad roll, but it was a good roll nonetheless.
Okay. Kari, you are starting to lag behind, which brings Hestia behind a little bit. The wolves are beginning to gain. So,
you got any comms that can reach the bloody base and?
You can signal.
My arms are full.
You could absolutely contact the base if that's what you're asking. The short-range communications, or rather, planet side, has been reestablished, so you can absolutely reach the base.
Are Ren's
should have done
hands
that
full?
sooner.
What's that?
Are Ren's hands full?
Ren is carrying one of the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone's hands aren't full.
I believe that would be a Lula at this point, actually.
Wait, wasn't Perul?
I'm carrying one. I thought.
Who's carrying who?
Who's on first? Ren is carrying one of the people. Kari is helping Hestia carry the one on the stretcher, and I guess Peril's carrying the last of the officers.
Yep.
Oh, my hands are not full then.
I will get very confused, Alula.
I'm tapping on my pad. Pat, 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 pat.
All right, what are you sending?
This is Alula. Help. Send hands.
Give them a direction from camp.
You suspect they can signal us. They can probably zero in on our signal since there's communications actually established now.
Being chased by hostiles, dogs.
With injured.
Hostile dogs. With injured.
There is a voice coming over the comms. Alula, we'll send someone immediately. We'll send several someones. Just keep
Please and
moving.
thank you.
You heard him. Go, 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 go.
We keep moving.
All right. In that case, I'm going to need another speed check.
Dice don't fail me now. Much better.
I rolled exactly the same as last time.
Okay. The wolves are keeping pace.
They can keep pace as long as they don't gain.
Yeah.
As long as they're not biting us or hitting us with their squills.
I'm going to need one more before we determine exactly how quickly you're getting to camp.
Fast.
Oh no.
Oh snap!
Oh.
Perul.
Perul sees something. Okay.
All right.
Perul hit her stride.
With that, I will say you actually begin to outpace the wolves a little bit. You suspect maybe there's some interference with them chasing you from the other side, but yeah. You're beginning to near the camp, and you see officers heading in your direction. What you also see, however, is more wolves peeling in from the sides.
Whoa!
The planet is infested with these things.
Yep.
They're moving in closer, and they're beginning to surround you.
Well, it was nice knowing y'all.
There is a shockwave of movement. Standing directly in front of you is the strange alien construct that you saw some days ago. Yesterday?
Oh, good.
I hate this planet.
It is.
I'm beginning to agree with you.
It is facing you, Alula. There is a loud, extremely loud foghorn type of noise that emits from it.
Ow!
The wolves scatter in all directions. And after them, the warden, in another shockwave, dashes after them.
Shoot! I also scatter.
Perul, come back.
I'm scattering towards space, don't get me wrong.
Okay, never mind. Perul, keep going.
The officers from the camp are still running towards you. A lot more confused looking now, but still running towards you.
We continue going toward them.
Helping to alleviate you from your burden and bring you into the camp.
Alula may have stopped for a minute.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Why me? Why did I?
Question later. Keep moving.
You can only suspect.
Okay.
You can only suspect he likes you.
I need to tell Adam that his friend is rude.
Mostly loud.
Need to get my hearing checked.
Alula just stopping in the field to pull out her scanner. So the camp is abuzz with activity as more officers have found their way to the camp, especially since short-range communications have been established. It would seem like this has become less of a camp and more of a small temporary city.
Cool. How's it looking for storm readiness?
They don't know, unless you've told them.
I'm Perul is just looking at it and going, how is this looking for storm readiness?
So the large dome that they erected, the command center, that looks fine. That is going to weather just fine. The rest of it is all tents and temporary postings. Not so good. However,
Y'all, this gonna be a storm.
there's time. Sometime.
Is the
So, we're gonna go to person who sent us out
Right.
after dropping off injured at Medical Bay Police.
I will tell the medical officers about funny fungus that mind controls, maybe do some psychological it might require some psychological aid in addition to physical aid.
Probably.
Be warned, good luck.
Can't. All right. And
They're gonna need a therapist.
Probably several.
we're all going to need therapists. Except Curry. Curry's fine. Curry needs a court-ordered therapist.
Yeah. She needed a therapist before we even got here.
that's true.
It's fine.
Did that not?
And yeah, once Alula is convinced that they're in good hands, she'll leave, I guess.
Ari is still definitely looking for peoples in charge to inform them about the large oncoming storm will last possibly several days.
Oh god, the Wispies are duplicating. This is like an end of the world.
We're just using Wispy as generic security token. Don't worry about it.
That's the second most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
Alternately, it's just the squirrels that you encountered a moment ago getting very advanced very quickly.
That's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
Anyway, Perul is going to, come back into base, and after a while remember that she has someone on her back. And probably collapse.
Okay. Alula took your
Medical for everyone.
Alula took your person.
Yay!
Yeah, admittedly, if Perul was collapsing, she also probably took Perul.
I'll be fine. Just hate this planet.
Not fine. You're not fine.
It's
I'm
fine.
always fine.
To be fair,
Terrible
Perul
bedside
didn't
manner.
say she was. Perul didn't say she was fine. She said, "I'll be fine."
You will be fine. It's true. Let's go.
Okay. Slowly gets back up with catching a breath. Storm problems. Oh,
Yes.
this place is fun.
We gotta tell the leader.
Flag down someone in orange. Hestia. She's right there.
Hestia, Hestia, the storm. Hestia, please.
Yes. What do you?
No.
We need to storm.
We need to storm prep. We need to
Storm
inform
prep.
everybody.
Yes, storm prep. I can meet my commanding officer, my direct superior, and we can begin working on that.
Oh, come. I've
The
been
help,
through a few of these.
the help would be appreciated. She leads you up towards the engineer that was working on her when you came into the camp the first time. The rest of you, you had dropped the two off at the medical tent. Was
Yes.
it? Okay,
Oh, the three, because the one
Three.
in the stretcher would have been taken there too.
it's true.
Was the medical officer there like a friend of Alula's or just a colleague?
The one that you brought in,
Yeah,
you have lunch with her.
colleague. Got it.
I mean,
I mean,
whether it's more than
it's Ali, so, like,
Yeah.
have you ever... can you be only partially friends with...
it's up to you to decide how deep that friendship is, but it is an amicable one.
Yes. Good. And I definitely wrote her name down, and I'm not going to ask you to remind me.
Allie?
Oh.
Would you first Scrippy?
See, even Scrippy didn't know.
Dr. Allie Scripson. Does that...
Yeah, sure, we're buds. Oh.
No, Scorpio was just teasing.
Okay, so you're reporting to the commanding officer.
Yes.
Yes.
She welcomes you back into the command pod. Thanks you for your hard work and asks for your report.
Bad.
We start with Storm, coming very soon.
She doesn't seem pleased, but she seems like she had some idea that it was coming. You know,
Move
given
on
the
to.
massive storm front moving in.
So
Move on
the
to-
ship
I'm
was a
pretty-
little bit of a bust.
Yeah, like the actual thing was a bit of a oops, it didn't work. But
But you managed to establish communications back with the ship, or I've established contact with the Frigga from what you did.
Really?
amazing. Okay, cool.
It was like the
We found
interference
something
cleared up
else.
immediately.
We found something else.
Yet you suspect it cleared up because of what happened on the other ship, rather than the one-
Adam.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, so we weren't entirely a bust on the first ship, but we found a second ship that had Hestia in awe.
I mean-
there are ships scattered around the planet, but what do you mean by in awe?
Very few of them are priceless artifacts.
That Zira has forgotten what they're called. The ancient
Starfarers.
Starfarers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starfarer ship, probably.
She blinks, and if she weren't sitting down, you suspect she'd take a seat. Starfarer. Here? No,
Sure.
that makes sense. Nothing about this planet has been right. That makes sense. Starfarers.
Agreed. No,
Apparently the machine thing that's like blasting around the planet and making loud noises is part of that.
That also makes sense. I'm starting to think that it might have been like a Seth relic or some such, but it's really it seemed really erratic for that.
There's an AI named Adam on the ship. Told us we have to leave. We explained that we couldn't, and it said it would help. After the storm, we got to take everybody back there. And it will tell us where there's a viable ship to get off the planet with, and then allow us to leave.
She looks like she's processing that for a moment. But allow us to leave.
Yeah, I was concerned about that wording too, but honestly, if it lets us leave, I'm glad to leave.
No arguments there.
Great. No.
I can still hear her
I'm not
voice
part
on
of
the
this
wind.
conversation.
I can still hear her voice on the wind.
Apparently this planet is a preserve / something science things. That Kari sort of like shrugs. She may not have been paying as much attention during that part of the conversation.
Probably just kind of zoned out while the ancient AI was speaking.
She caught that we're gonna leave, but we gotta go back with all the peoples and then leave.
You said you contacted the Frigga?
Oh yes, we were able to get in contact with the what's left of the command on the Frigga. Not everyone from the command team is some of them are absent, we'll say. They're not. She doesn't seem to be saying that they're dead, or just that they're not available.
Some of them are probably here.
Well.
Oh,
but
should we tell her about the fungus? Kari will ask Alula.
Well, I mean, advisory as a warning,
Avoid?
yes.
Yeah.
I will mark a location on... Do we have auto maps?
I mean, basically, yeah. You could send
I will
her
mark a location on the map and say that this is a dangerous area and it has mind control spores. I mean, that's not really what it is, but it's easier to say what it actually is. Avoid it.
Don't go there.
Duly noted. But about the Frigga. I have good news. I have bad news. The good news...
Bad news, pirates.
The bad... Pirates?
Continue.
Right. The good news is there are significantly fewer casualties than you might suspect.
That is excellent.
The ship superstructure did fold a little, but
a little.
Well, given the impact, it could have been far worse. It seemed like it wasn't meant to destroy, or I don't know how else to put it. It didn't seem like complete destruction was the point of it. However, the bad news, with the extensive damage, there's also things. Void crabs. The asteroid was swarming with void crabs that are now infesting the ship.
I feel like those were mentioned.
Mm-hmm. In fact,
Perul did mention the void crabs.
Yep. Perul directly mentioned it. The whole planet.
Yeah, Kari is sitting there going like, I feel like those were mentioned.
Currently,
part of me is just imagining like him going, so I feel I should warn you, there are probably void crabs on the asteroid. Just on the ship, yeah, bang, bang, bang. Yes, we're aware.
The security crews are currently holding them, but they're going to need help. And the asteroid has had a signal emanating from it that has been counting down, and we're not sure entirely what that is.
How long is the countdown?
It's counting down to another... what was it? She takes out her data slate and begins tapping. 4 days?
Ed, we're going to be stuck here for an unknown number.
Amount of days, yeah. Maybe it'd be a short storm.
But... So, the storm. Did the... what was... Perul was her name? Did she tell you about the storms? Did she seem to know anything about what the weather patterns are like?
She's talking with the engineers about prepping the camp for it.
That's good, at least. I think.
Her words were bad.
Oh.
That's not words, that's word.
I think you may have
But you
said
did say it a lot.
Her words were bad, and then just repeat that several times.
Okay.
Yes. So Perul outside with the thing is just like looking at the dome, going, "Yeah, this. I think this will do it. The tents have all got. They're all gone.
There have been another dome or two that have been erected since then. However, there's a lot of scattered equipment that's probably going to be difficult to deal with. It might be best to tie it down. Yeah, the tents, those are gone, as you said.
Yeah. Is it full on lightning storm, or is it just
It's lightning, it's wind, it's heavy rain.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's debris.
It's like an inland hurricane.
Yep.
Do not surf.
Good luck trying.
but the waves are going to be really big.
Yeah, I know.
It's the sort of thing you only get to do once in a lifetime for a reason. Okay, so Perul is probably not the most helpful, because her strategy has literally been bunker down and shelter in a ship that is already there, and it was still deeply unpleasant.
Yeah.
But she can at least try and talk about the destruction she saw when she came out afterwards. Like, trees aren't going to cut it.
Yeah, that, and it's another pair of hands to help with said things too. So, okay. In that case, the command officer is coming out of the pod with Alula and Kari, and she's called everyone over for an announcement to tell them to assist with getting everything tied down, everything ready for the storm. She points to Perul and says, listen to her. She has been through these before. So she has assigned you an official capacity to...
Perul smiles at this as she is appreciated, and then realizes the responsibility and the questions that will soon be happening.
It's true.
As people begin to crowd around.
She gives you the floor.
The storm will probably last a couple of days. Everything that isn't tied down is going to be everywhere. If you want to keep it, make sure it's indoors or bolted to the ground or something. I don't know what you guys can do.
They're listening. You've never had so many attentive eyes on you, at least not in a decade or two.
Well, I've never seen this many eyes full stop in a decade or two.
Yeah.
Get to work, it'll be here soon. She sort of just shoos everyone.
They take a
Not
beat.
wearing blue for a reason here, people.
They take a beat not entirely sure if that was serious or not, but then they begin to scatter.
Yep.
I love that I can actually see the motion with the sound. Just go.
Shoo, shoo.
All right. So what we're going to do here is a complex task chain of getting ready for the storm. What ways are you contributing to getting ready for the storm? Even if it's just being a pair of hands or taking in people to check their injuries or anything like that.
As a matter of fact, I was planning on escorting any wounded to a more secure shelter.
Okay. There is a pod that has been set up as a sort of field hospital for those who need it the most. So it would be a very secure locations for them.
Neat.
You will say there are...
I have hands.
That's true. Most of you have hands, I should hope. There are 3 pods.
How's our food supplies looking?
Food supplies, I would say...
There are many more people here than there were last time I checked, and suddenly that big thing of meat I brought in doesn't look quite as...
That's true. Logistically, that food should last so long as it is, properly stored.
Yep. We're good for water. No, we'll be good for water. You just stick your head out the door and open your mouth, and you'll be flooded with more than you want.
That one meme. Yeah, water, food. You feel like those will be fine.
Apart from that, just sort of trying to judge what needs strapping down and what doesn't, and basically be a pair of hands.
Okay.
Survive. I'll roll whatever survivals I need to. Or...
Yeah, we'll roll with survival for yours. Yeah, we'll just go straight survival for yours. All right.
I have martial arts hard. I can hit things. Give me a hammer.
So that is a critical success. Peril is gets a very, very good vibe of what should be doing or what should be going on here, and is able to direct her team, the team that is following her directly, to tie down the things that need tied down, patch up things that need patched up, bring in things that are definitely not going to be able to be fully tied down.
Take down the tents. Those are useless.
Oh yeah.
Those are more than useless.
Yeah, they are hazardous.
Those are practically sails.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
She begins to get into the swing of having people listening to her and appreciating her.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has.
And she doesn't even have to worry about any of them stabbing her in the back. Does she?
Looks at Kari.
No. I only stab bad guys. Thank you very much.
Looks at Parole.
Okay. Zira, you said, or Kari was just being a pair of hands, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
I've got no special ability to do anything for storm prep. I am a city girl.
Stab the storm. Go on.
We'll give that a strength roll to see for moving the heavier things, helping those.
No.
That didn't on my screen. That didn't even make it to the box. It was just like off to the side.
Weird.
Okay. Well,
I tried to roll it and it basically just dropped.
Yeah. Would you like to burn a luck?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I will burn a luck in order to actually be helpful. This seems like a good idea instead of being in the way. All right.
You'd think. I mean, what? All right. And Alula, you said you were going to move the wounded to the, or help move the wounded to the medical center. Alula?
Oh, sorry, what?
I said, and you were wanting to help move the wounded to the medical center?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. We'll have you roll a first aid for a simple triage to see who needs. Oh,
This kills the.
would you like
You want to burn a luck to none?
specifically to figure out who needs the most help moving and do it efficiently?
Sure, I'll burn the luck.
Okay. You managed to get everyone together and, with the help of the other medical officers, move them into the new medical center. As you are doing so, the 2 officers you brought with you begin to wake up.
Oh, you're awake.
It's Allie speaking. Where? I remember the crash, and you were there, and
We're right now. We're at a temporary base camp set up by SES. We're safe now. Sort of. We have to move, but we're mostly safe.
why do I remember Squirrel?
It's complicated, and I would love to walk you through it, but we really need to move you to a safer place right now.
She seems a little dazed, but she nods and follows. As does the engineer. Yes, the squirrel. As they step out together into the light, they look at each other. There's a very palpable sense of deja vu in their eyes. Before they follow you again.
Just gonna escort them to a more secure place.
Just be glad you don't have Quilgore instincts.
As far as you. Look, I will order a full psych evaluation later. Not a particular priority at the moment.
Psych evaluation will come when you have a full psych team.
Everyone is squared away. All that's left now is to do last moment preps and decide where you are bunkering down. There are 3, as I said, pods. There is the medical, the pod that is doubling as the medical center. There's the one as the command center. And lastly, the last one has mostly been used for storage, especially for the more delicate or sensitive equipment or foodstuffs.
I'll stay in medical as my role demands.
Yeah.
Are you bunkering down together?
You're going to want to split the food between the various ones because you're not going to be getting between pods during the.
Yeah. Understand. Yeah. Okay. They take your word for that, and they begin to bring in pallets of supplies into each of the centers.
I don't know. Is everyone sticking with me?
Is anyone actually staying in the storage seeming one? Is there not enough room in the 2 that have people for people to be in the 2 that have people usually?
So there is not enough room for everyone to shelter in 1 or 2 of them. All 3 will be needed to be used for the amount of people that are here now. But again, you will have to decide whether you want to bunker together, which is fine if you want to, or whether you want to bunker separately.
Well, Kari is probably going to stick with Alula.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm. As much as I'm accepted as an SES, I'd prefer to be hanging out with the ones who.
More or less brought you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 3 of us give puppy dog eyes to Ren and Hestia.
Ren and Hestia can go do whatever they want, but.
Well, Ren is sticking with Kari.
Yep.
Hey.
Hestia blinks for a moment and shrugs and joins you.
Hooray! Sleepover!
Hey. Big storm sleepover.
Stay up all night telling scary stories.
And I assure
So
you,
when we
Alula
left
will
it-
definitely not be having PTSD and looking very haunted right now.
Wow, I didn't think my story was that scary. Huh?
What?
Sorry.
Alula was originally thinking like, all right, I'm gonna walk these girls through what happened when they were a little mixed up, and then thunderclap. Suddenly, I'm thinking about blood. A lot of blood.
Hyper-realistic blood.
Hyper realistic blood.
Lula Ixia. Okay. Let's see. It is 10 o'clock. Would anyone like to take a break at this point? Zero, do you have anyone to pick up, or do you have to take care of anything?
Well, I should probably take a doggo out. My brother will probably need picked up shortly before midnight.
Okay.
That's usually when he sends me messages, like 10 or so minutes before midnight. He'll be like, "Don't want to come pick me?"
Okay. In that case, we're going to take a 15-minute break. 15, 20 minutes, somewhere in that area. Then we'll come back and we'll take another break or end at around midnight, depending on how things go.
Also, sorry, Allie, I didn't recognize.
Brothers
Me
be like
stupid.
that. I need you to know before I go take a dog out. You mentioned that meme, Ken, and I was thinking of the meme about the no, I'm not gonna call you a good whatever. You did things bad, and my brain immediately went to Kari with Alula going, "No, I'm not gonna call you a good girl. You stabbed that guy to your death."
To be fair, those two memes are very heavily conflated in my brain too, because they're very, very similar. Like they're the same format practically.
I am
Popped in my brain. It's so perfect.
Zane. How much to just get you to sketch that up real quick?
But yes, doggo, let me go. I'll be back.
All right.
Yep.
I'm
All right,
moving
see you,
to
bro.
BRB.
Yep.
And
BRB.
now.
The silence.
Well, I was waiting for the transfer screen to finish before I spoke in.
Fair enough.
All right, and we're back.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
We're going through a storm now.
It's true. The weather begins to turn very quickly once everyone has taken shelter. The wind is loud, it's battering, there's thunder clapping. More than once, lightning has struck inside the base itself. There are, in fact, windows on these pods, and they are strong enough to survive re-entry, so you're pretty certain they're safe. So
how many engineering people are in this?
You are in the medical tent. There are a few.
We've got a Hestia and we've got an injured one.
Hestia's commanding officer also came along with Hestia.
Okay.
You get the sense that they're actively friends, so they wanted to shelter together.
Duh. Well, Barul is going to head over a little bit away from all the engineering people and start dismantling and cleaning her gun out.
The distrust is palpable.
She knows that if she does it near them, they're going to be like, "You're doing it wrong."
So I know, may have been sounded like I'm joking, but Alula really is kind of sitting down and spacing out and jumping a little bit every time there's a little lightning bolt.
Oh no, I absolutely took that to be serious. What happened to Alula before she joined the SES is going to stick with her for a very long time, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. She thought she left this behind.
All right, so I'm not actively going to make you roll for cleaning and repairing your gun, since you are in a moment where you can just focus directly on that. Although I will say in the future we'll probably use a survival roll at a penalty, since it's not a straight engineering.
Look, see.
Hari will probably sort of be aimless initially, and then possibly take notice of Alula and just be like sat next to her, not really doing anything, unsure what's wrong.
Yeah, survival. I'm doing that is smack bang on my survival score, so I'm guessing I'm doing it wrong.
That's why I was saying I wasn't going to have you roll this time, since you have time to sit down and just focus on it. But I was saying in future, if we have to come back to it, it probably makes sense to have it as survival with a penalty. Okay.
She's still doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Not like bad enough to warrant, it's not going to destroy the gun, but she's doing it inefficiently and arguingly and in the presence of engineering folks. So we'll see how that goes in the long run.
Whoops.
But you're doing it wrong. Hestia sees you, but she pointedly does not point it out to the others around her. This time.
That's friendship. This time.
Look, there's only so
has
much
made
you can do.
zero indication that she was aware of Kari's presence.
Kari?
I'm not sure. Kari is.
Companionable silence.
Well, it literally comes down to like Kari is stuck in a place she wants to try to help, but she doesn't have any idea how. This is not her strong suit in any way. She's never really had long-lasting close friendship things, so she's like,
Well, she did.
well, we're not talking about that right now. She's not thinking about that right now.
Once.
Remember, Bree, you take the PTSD and you stab
Rub it down. Look,
Yeah.
the stabbing only works sometimes. So yeah, like she might try talking a little bit, just random nonsense, probably like.
I mean,
It's not getting Alula's attention.
Uh-oh.
There is a lightning bolt, and she kind of yelps a bit and kind of folds in on herself a little.
At that point, Kari would probably just sort of like sit next to her and like lean on her.
Quite tellingly, she does not push you away or anything. She is clearly distressed and shaking.
If only you were in a tent full of medical specialists who might realize what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
If this continues on for like long enough that Perul would do a basic maintenance and reassemble the gun, she'll eventually come over. Don't worry, this storm's not going to get in here. I reckon it's not getting any worse than this. It's just going to be like this for.
If
No real response.
yeah, if Alula continues to be entirely unresponsive after like more than an hour, Kari is probably going to get up and find someone who knows how to help in this situation. Like, my friend seems something quiet, unresponsive. What do I do?
When Kari walks away, Perul starts poking.
Amazing.
It takes a couple of pokes, but eventually Alula does swat your hand away.
Nice. You are still awake in there.
Huh?
Yeah, seem not doing great.
Oh. Yeah. I
Poke.
had a slaps. Can you knock it off?
Poke.
Oh my god.
Kari, it's not too hard to find a counselor. Is actually wearing green, but is very much denoted as being the counselor. They've got like a little section off to the side dealing with people that aren't taking the storm well, or aren't being crashed here very well.
Fair. Kari will go get Alula and bring Alula to join the people.
You walk in on Alula swatting away.
Oh, good. She's responsive now. Alula, you should come over here.
Wait, how long have I been?
It's fine. This way.
She gets up, starts to walk away, looks at Perul on the way out. like defensively ready to like.
The SWAT is ready.
I would say Peru looks innocent, but she doesn't.
So we're going with Alula to the little section off.
Yeah, Kari is gonna lead her over there, and once she sits down, sit next to her again. Doesn't lean on her again yet, but is prepared in case she goes unresponsive again.
Yep.
Peru gonna follow along for lack of anything better to do and just lean against a wall in the background.
As one does.
Gotta hold it up.
Sorry,
Hold out the storm.
I don't do well with storms anymore.
The counselor is nearby if you ask her over, or if Alula starts getting really bad. But unless you let her know that she wants someone there, she'll probably let you be.
Kari would ask Alula if she wants to actually talk to someone. Like, do you want to talk to someone properly, or just to like me or Perul, or do you want to just sit?
Oh, we can talk about something. The unsurety in her voice.
How was medical training?
Well, it was fine. A little rough.
Yeah. At this point, Kari has moved into distract mode. Talk about anything that isn't important or the current situation.
Until she stumbles on something that is important for the current situation.
Pretty much.
It's all landmines down here.
Alula can go over her medical training. How it was pretty standard stuff. She had to watch some videos of some horrible things, dreadful things.
Are you?
Which she
Carefully moving her vibro blade thing away from Alula's line of sight.
she's slowly going over anything, really, talking about whatever her experience from medical school.
If she actually took like a moment to look at Kari and try to read as far as how Kari's reacting, she might realize Kari is like sort of listening. Doesn't understand medical stuff at all and may not be particularly interested, but is still listening enough to be like ready to say things, to respond to stuff, to
Man, that's rough, buddy.
keep Alula talking in the distraction thing.
Get you a friend who's invested enough to say the most basic surface level things in response.
She's still flinching every time lightning strikes, but she's not like she's not like shutting off in response.
Goody.
That is a pretty significant improvement.
Is what I'm going for.
Perul, in the meantime, is like listening along from the distance, and like when you're like, oh, it was really kind of rough or whatever, you do hear like vague scoffs from the other side, and but otherwise,
If she were in the right mindset, she might have words for Perul. But Perul gets away with it this time. What about you?
I mean, security training is a lot of physical activity and work. A lot of running. A lot of, that. And then Kari will do basically the same thing, just go through the basic breakdown of what kind of physical activity she had to do every day. Like, the tests and avoids stuff too early on in the training. Most of it seems to be from like mid to late training information.
It's okay. We're all complete boobs once.
Yeah, and it's trying to think of how she might go about explaining this. Like, a lot of it is she's not sure how much detail to go into, so sometimes she'll explain activities like in lots of detail. Other times she'll sort of skim over stuff. Like, she's not.
She's is she concerned about how much she's allowed to share from training, or is it just not sure what she should share?
It's more that she's not sure how much Alula actually cares. Is still just trying to judge whether or not it's keeping Alula's mind mostly off the storm.
Gotcha.
It looks like she's kind of trying to listen. But she is starting to fade a little bit.
Kari has absolutely no interest in talking about her life before being part of the SES, and so will not ask Alula about her life before being part of the SES.
But there's this funny story about a storm.
A funny story about a friend.
They all shared their backstories. Alula's just kind of out here like, damn, I don't feel so bad anymore.
There's a crumple noise.
Huh?
Something batters against the side of the dome, and there is a dent that is formed. After a moment, some of the paneling comes falling in.
Well, Kari is on her feet,
Everyone
and
give me a luck check.
Uh-oh.
we're great at those.
That's a nope.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That's the second time I rolled a 9 for a luck check, by the way.
A very large sheet of paneling that was, let's see, interlaced and interwebbed just falls down directly on all of you and shatters into pieces.
Yeah, so Perul's gonna be like, who was tying down the bloody things over on the web?
You're all concussed for a bit. Take about 45 damage.
Oh.
Oh,
It was a very heavy portion of structure.
Yeah.
More importantly, there is now wind and rain shooting in from the hole in the roof. The engineers have moved in towards it. The medical have moved in to move everyone else away from it.
Head hurty.
More words that are not good for Christian YouTube channel.
Unsanctioned words.
Unsanctioned statements.
No, they might be sanctioned in this situation.
They need to reinforce this wall like this just reinforced my trauma.
If only hadn't rolled above a 95.
I don't suppose the thing has luck checks.
The building?
Hasn't been around long enough.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, so is the storm now coming into the building?
Well, there is rain and wind flying in through it. As I said, the medical officers have come over to move all of you away from the hole, and the engineers are moving towards it to try to do something about it.
Attempt at fix. I concur. Ow.
They're brought over to the other side of the dome. Are you okay? One of the medical officers on staff is asking. They have panacea on the ready, but
I just had part of the building fall on me.
Arul hasn't forgotten any swear words yet.
They decided.
Was pointing her own medical scanner at herself.
We just had a part of the building fall on us.
They decide just to go directly to Panacea and get you situated in a new location as far from the hole as possible. They have brought in.
Perul is heading over to the Panacea to just grab a handful of the stuff from the
No.
tank. He's like,
no. They in fact put you in a tent that will allow you to have privacy and also not have to look or hear the rain or such coming in.
I'm sure at some point Alula showed off her medical scanner to whoever was carrying her around and just was like, bad.
Yeah. That's very nice.
Head bad.
Ow, pain, head hurt.
They get you situated. The added benefit of muffling the sound of the storm itself inside this tent as well. It was one of the outside tents for crash survivors and such to use, but well, it seems appropriate to have it in a place like this where people would probably want privacy now and again. Right.
So we've been panacea'd and
isolated or
isolated.
Does that bring our health back up to full? I don't remember.
Yeah. In this case, it would.
Sweet.
Alula's still rubbing her head.
It's tender.
I think we're all still rubbing our heads.
It's tender if nothing else. It's that kind of sensation where it's not pain, but it feels like it should be. Or it feels like it's more sensitive than it was before because of the pain you just had.
Your head feels like when your leg falls asleep.
Kinda, a little bit like that. Not as severe.
What even happened?
I think the building fell on us a little bit.
Why?
Apparently you're...
Kari will try to peek out and look in the direction of where it happened at. Can I see what apparently busted through the wall?
It would be hard to tell, but you can give a perception on it.
I'm good at those. Oh look, I may have actually succeeded.
So
yeah.
You see what looks like wood particles, sticks and such that have come through the hole as well. So you suspect maybe a tree got uprooted and flung into the Yeah,
I go back in the tent, I sit back down. I think a tree tried to kill us. I hate this planet. Perul, I hate this planet.
When we get off this planet, I'm never stepping onto another spaceship that has a tree on it. In it. Too many trees in spaceships.
I'm pretty sure our ship has several trees on it.
There are whole ass
I'm going
parts.
to burn them all down.
Not allowed at all.
Before I came to this planet, I have gotten a little scraped up. And the first thing that happens when I get here is I break some ribs. And now there's buildings falling on me. I hate this planet.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about this.
Oh yeah, we're all this nothing here, all with Perul we hate this planet.
Perul's just over there. Oh, you hate this planet.
No, you've convinced us, Perul. You and the planet have convinced us.
Perul is going to start on a rant. When I first got to this planet, I was on a pleasure yacht that had just exploded because my friend thought was my friend blew it up with me on it, and my worst enemy just having been stabbed in the back. I didn't even get to stab her in the back myself. And then crash down here, and she's just gonna start ranting about like days after days of like running around, and it just doesn't stop.
And you know what? You have Alula's rapt attention.
Yeah, Kari's also just listening, like, wow, holy shit.
And like, you know, she found some, you know, she keeps finding some other ships that have crash landed and thinking, oh yeah, I can get out of here on this, and no, it's double crashed. And getting the, you know, thinking she's found some survivors, and well, nope, looks like they're all dead as well. And the animals, and the storms, and the giant thing that screams at you.
I don't like that one either.
Yeah. At least you didn't run into the fungus.
How did I not run into the fungus? How am I still alive?
You're very good at not dying.
And like, I swear I've like hunted a couple of those little tree critter squeaky things, and I've never had the big one come and maybe it just likes you. Oh yeah,
not.
that reminds me. You, Alula.
Yes?
They should get you to encrypt SES comms. Cause what was that distress call?
I thought it got the point across. I was panicked! We were being chased by wolves!
That's the best time to be really clear on a distress call!
So, Kuru's got a point. That might be something you should work on.
You get the feeling she has been holding on to that one for like for the right moment for a while.
I am trained to make medical calls. That was not... Well, it was kind of a medical call.
I mean, we had 3 injured people.
And we were being chased by wolves!
Medical
They're always
chasing.
being chased by wolves.
Don't tell me that. Don't say that.
We're not currently being chased by wolves.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Looks outside at the gaping hole in the window. Are there any wolves getting blown in through the hole in the window?
Not yet.
No,
We
yeah.
are not closes the thing. We are not currently being chased by wolves.
There you go. No wolves right this moment. Why does this planet hate us so much? Like, why?
Planet hates everyone.
It does seem to hate everyone.
Why? My planet didn't hate people this much. That I can remember.
I'm sorry, did you say you exploded?
Yeah, that is a question. You
But, yeah, like a moment to realize that you're talking to me again. I mean, yeah.
You really are good at surviving.
right?
Well, if I don't survive, I'm not going to be able to kill her, am I?
I suppose not.
Even if you do survive, you might not be able to kill her.
Slow head turn towards Greg.
As it's
If
been
I
pointed
survive,
out,
I'm going to kill her.
at this point, Kari will, as it's been pointed out to me, side eye at Alula, we're not supposed to kill the bad guys ourselves.
If a pirate's coming at you with a... Kari, you have my explicit permission. If a pirate is coming at you with intent to kill, you can stab them with the knife.
Good. I appreciate that.
Did you just hold a grudge?
No, not really.
Well, obviously you have.
Don't worry, I've got enough grudge for everyone here.
Your grudge is about to manifest into a spirit and start attacking people.
As long as it doesn't attack allies.
I can't believe she's manifesting a stand.
And all it took
So
was
guys,
20
in the
something
wind, I
years.
found this arrow.
So, Rule is very violent, but we knew that.
Hmm.
It's okay. She's not violent towards you.
End
You're
of
fine.
sentence.
I mean, I think Perul is acceptably violent in the correct direction.
Perul smiles happily. She also
Yeah.
thinks that she's acceptably violent in the correct direction.
But you probably think that about yourself, so.
Yes, yes, I do.
Mhm.
I mean,
Now, Perul and
She's-
Kari are
she's
both
stabbed a few
violent.
wolves.
Yeah.
Perul's talking about pirates. You cut a petty thief in half.
I did not. He was still in one piece. Thank you.
And who do you have to thank for that?
You're very good at your job.
Perul is suddenly more interested in this.
But also, he shot at us.
And you cleaved him in half.
With a gun! Do you think the bullets or energy, was it a energy gun? It was an energy gun, wasn't it?
I think it was a blaster. It's been so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. It really hasn't, actually. No, it has. Do you think the blaster was just gonna tickle?
You were wearing armor.
If someone shoots at you, you put them down.
There's a process.
Yes.
Yeah.
You put them down,
And-
then you take them to someone who
And
keeps them
then
from
you
dying.
shoot. And then they're not shooting at you anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Just looks at Kari, just like, what's her problem?
Mm. I don't think she's been shot at enough.
Well,
I haven't shut up
Mm,
as
mm.
much as I would like to. Thanks. I have been thinking about picking up firearms training.
Yeah, me too.
Why don't you have fire?
I normally don't need them. Believe it or not, my vibroblade isn't usually the first option. I can fight. Just fight.
Olila's throwing her arms up. Not usually, she says. Just when I'm on my shift.
Look, bullets, or well, lasers require escalated violence.
Although the topic of conversation is very different, Perul is feeling at home. Like, actually just sort of sitting back and almost relaxing more than you've seen her in a bit, just letting the argument wash over her.
Peril missed the banter.
Hmm?
You're still lucky it was me and not some other trainee who has never seen it before.
Yes, and I'm glad because you're awesome. And you did a really good job. And you didn't, like, kick me out of the medical wing.
I was gonna.
I know. Bury him.
Sneak attack with the compliment.
When's the stupid storm over?
Maybe you should try to take a nap.
She looks mortified at the idea.
Maybe not. I don't know. Like,
I mean, you're gonna have to sleep sooner or later.
There is a call for rations to be passed out.
Food makes people feel better. You said that it is noticeably quieter in the tent than it is outside.
Yes.
Is it possible for Kari to bring Alula's rations back to her so she doesn't have to go out there?
Yeah. I don't see why they wouldn't let you do that.
Kari will offer that then. If you want, you can stay here and I'll bring food back.
That would be nice, thank you.
Do you want to come with me, Perul, or do you want to stay here too?
Perul just sort of glances back and forth at the. Okay, you've just been having this huge argument, and now you trust her to carry your food. Weird people. All right.
Was that said out loud or?
Yeah.
Why would I not? Oh.
I'm not gonna promise no one is ever gonna not be angry and try to punch you, but I'm pretty sure no one in the SES is gonna try to poison you.
I mean, not proper poison, but
What do you mean? What do you mean? Lula just stands up and gets in Pearl's face. What do you mean?
We'll get our food. And Kari will go and get all three.
Kari opens the tent flap.
Yeah.
Kari enters this tent flap, or opens the tent flap and steps outside. There is a rapt audience sitting around the tent.
He blinks. Hi, all, and then goes to get food.
Doesn't Lula see this?
Perception?
So you're saying you're saying you've never spiked someone's food when you're when they're pissing you off?
Alula definitely saw
just
them.
a minute. Hold on, just a minute, Perul. Kari, you have the permission to use your knife.
I know who.
That's for you to decide.
The gathered audience reluctantly breaks away.
She's right. We wouldn't stab each other, but I can make people think otherwise. Also, if you spike anyone's soup, I will come after you with a Kari.
I'm not carrying anyone's food.
The thing is, Kari left because Kari didn't want the look and or lecture if Perul asked if Kari had ever spiked anyone's food with something like a laxative. Because trust me, the answer to that is yes.
I can't threaten Kari with a Kari. Or can I?
You can threaten Kari with a good time. I mean, what?
Kari will return with the rations.
True to what was said, it is in fact soup. Hot soup with broth, or very filling, hearty broth, and hot drinks.
Alula,
assuming I have a tray or two.
Oh, yeah.
Initially is very hesitant, but then, her belly rumbles audibly.
Food.
Something to fortify against the cold that was brought in by the storm.
Get the arms to the noms.
Yeah.
Slurpy, slurpy, slurpy.
Thus fortified.
Perul checks a little. Perul gives a meaningful glance down at Alula's scanner and shrugs.
It's true.
Alula catches this glance, takes a look at her scanner, takes a look at her soup, squints, thinks better of it.
Well, it's a little more peppery than you would like, but It's good soup. Otherwise, filling.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, it's full of flavor, and that's not something that Pearl is used to. So there's going to be a little bit of coughing, but followed by a unwise amount of slurping, followed by a lot more coughing.
I like that Parole is basically an acne.
Hey, yeah.
If we give Parole a hot pepper, will her tongue explode?
One way to find out.
Honestly, I think Pearl's been mostly surviving on meat. I'm not sure she's even tried harvesting local plants.
Local plants are much more likely to be poisonous.
Honestly, if you're going to look at them, every single plant here is pink or purple, and everybody knows that that's poison colors.
Very true.
But how poisonous exactly? Only through experimentation can we find out.
How about you experiment first?
Alula pulls out her scanner.
Yes.
The first day of the storm passes relatively quietly, aside from the tree that hit the building.
That is a big apart from.
I mean, given what could have happened with a tree colliding head first with it, yeah. The night...
Very eventful, uneventful.
The night passes quickly. There's no further disturbances in the night. And you awaken. You assume it is the next day. It is not any more or less bright than it was the day before. That is how thick the cloud covers become. What would you like to do the second day?
Slightly more animate today. I mean, animate compared to the early part of that day, because towards the end...
Thoroughly distracted with questionable conversation.
Sometimes that's the kind of conversation you need to get through.
It looks like she might have remembered something and is kind of doing breathing exercises as she's outside of the tent.
As Alula is doing breathing exercises, Allie comes to her.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you for, of
course,
getting me out of that. It's still. Go ahead.
How are you feeling?
Still a little bit of a headache, but I'm okay. There's just some confusing memories. I'm remembering a lot of things that never happened to me.
Right. I don't think I actually properly explained what happened, did I?
No, I understand what happened because I remember it. It's hard to break it all down in a way that makes sense. Maybe if you explain it, it'll make more sense.
Okay. So, and Alula will go and explain the funny mushroom and how it was melding people's minds together and animals. So that's interesting.
And I like to think that, like, whenever you make a particularly dramatic statement about it, the lightning just completely...
Oh yeah.
The lightning rolls and Alula jumps to her own dramatic words.
The funny fungus.
So, in the end, I think a lot of your memories might have gotten muddled with the two other officers there. And maybe the animals? She's very unsure.
Ellie is thinking, no, the officer never woke up, or at least wasn't brought in. I think the injury prevented it. I remember nothing about them. But I do remember being the animals. And I remember my childhood as a squirrel. That's going to take some time to get used to.
I was going to recommend that you see a professional about that. It's not my particular area of expertise, but I thought that it might cause a complication.
No, I understand. I just wanted to thank you. I guess I'll see you on shift.
Yes. Here's hoping.
She kind of awkwardly walks away.
Alula also awkwardly walks away.
Okay.
Imagine having social skills.
Couldn't.
Alula gets poked.
What?
Yeah.
She walks away.
Kari has the opportunity to do the funniest thing.
Kari will in fact like reach out as if to poke Alula, and then doesn't.
That's somehow worse.
How does she see this? That's the important question.
Does she? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Alula drops into an actual combat stance.
Kari does the whole like innocent thing, like, what are you doing? What?
Perul nods approvingly.
Wasn't clear at that point. The stance that Alula takes is actually like a trained martial arts stance.
I do not think Perul recognizes it.
Kari probably does, at least somewhat, like at least as a trained martial arts stance. Kari is also trained in martial arts, but in a different kind.
Yeah, Perul also trained in martial arts, but like soft martial arts are really not part of her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Also, probably not the same kind of martial arts in general. Like,
Yeah.
I think Perul's probably more along the lines of like, Savat or I don't know, Krav Maga.
At the very least, y'all. I'm sure even at a glance, y'all could be like, "Oh, we'll throw you."
See? I'm not gonna say that. Moving on.
And then lightning strikes and she jumps out of that pose.
Well, I see you're trained too.
She swears under her breath when it happens. Returns to her breathing exercises.
At this point, Kari may ask, "Do you want to spar? Will that help?"
What? The idea is completely foreign to her.
Kari just sort of shrugs. I mean, you're trained to fight.
That's a hobby.
Sparring is a hobby.
Look. I didn't throw you on the first night we met. We don't have to make that a thing.
Your choice. Just thought it was a way to keep your mind occupied.
I'm doing better. I'm doing better.
You're doing
It's
great.
okay. Sorry.
No, you're doing great. It's fine.
It's spent my entire life not caring about storms at all.
It probably
Sorry.
helps being on a spaceship.
Well, I grew up on a planet that had, well, I don't know if the storms were this vicious, but they were close.
Fair.
And it's not even the storm itself. Just reminds me of things.
Yeah, at that point, Kari sort of listens to the rain for a minute and goes, yeah, memories can be rude.
Yes.
Perul's just sort of looking up. Well, yeah, my advice here isn't exactly the most useful.
But now I'm curious.
Yes, we are.
Well, like, you got something in the past that messed you up, just do what it did harder. And like, well, I don't think you're going to become a storm anytime soon, so...
You don't know that.
I am the storm
I don't.
that is approaching. Alula does not respond. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can see why you might have thought that advice would be a little less useful. It is sort of not useful. But it was interesting. Imagine if you could become a storm, Alula.
I would decline.
Sounds pretty interesting.
That's right. Alula would clearly take the cleric track and not the druid track. So.
This is very true.
So, where are you guys keeping all the boys around here?
Huh?
What, boys? I think there are a couple of male officers.
There aren't. The SES.
I lied.
So there would be male civilians or male contractors, but the SES is an entirely
That's
because
fair.
of one
Like,
tradition.
Kari would have just been like, not officer, but like, I think there are a couple of male, like, participants.
Gotcha. Yeah. Then again, where Kari grew up, it would be entirely reasonable to assume that there just aren't any on the ship.
Yeah, Kari, I imagine might have seen, like I said, like, some at some point. Is not sure if any of them are on the planet.
I mean, like, I think the only male who's been referenced in this whole thing so far has been the thief that you almost bisected, so...
Was that a male? I think. Was it a dude?
Yeah, it was a guy.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Right.
Then yes. Like, I was pretty sure it was a dude.
I don't know if any of them made it planet side.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Guess they'd be still in the Frigga. Why?
What reason to get... I don't know. Got nothing better to do around here?
This goes over Alula's head.
Ari just sort of glances at Alula and then goes, sort of shrugs at Peril, like...
I mean, like... It's part of the reason people join up the SES, isn't it?
No, Alula's really confused.
What? Like, this is especially unfortunate because Kari joined the SES in such wildly unassociated conditions. Like,
I mean, she gestures up and down at the extremely form-fitting outfits that you are wearing.
I joined the SES to get medical training, which I now have.
How much do you know about feathering?
You got beaks. We had one on our crew who was the most terrifying bitch I ever met in my life.
I think I met one male in my childhood. before joining the SES. Not a lot of dudes on my home planet.
Isn't that why you... Okay. 1, what? 2, isn't that why you joined the SES then?
No. What are you getting at? Like, why would that be a reason to join the SES? There aren't many dudes.
Yeah, but like you've got...
This is like 3 separate styles.
Conversation. Are we gathering another audience?
Yes.
We're not even in the tent this time. Like, we were just sort of strolling around the camp, like around inside the building away from the hole.
Look, they don't have a lot of options for entertainment.
They really
I got one, but it's a really good one.
Okay.
Like, what dudes are you talking about? Just what are you talking about?
For fun? Do Fethrons not... Do you not have men to...
I mean, there are some males.
Alula,
Okay, out of character, remind me
something
again.
clicks,
Most
and she's starting to turn colors.
most of a lot of the feathering reproduction is genetically assisted, isn't it?
No, that's the Scalic.
No, I know the Scalics, but I mean, like, do they always rely on male-female pairings to make babies?
Well, I mean, they have other options if they want them, but traditionally that has been the case. But again,
Okay.
there are a lot more options than there used to be historically speaking.
Yes.
Fair enough.
What?
Perul makes some extremely crude gestures / motions with her body that leave very little imagination as to what she is implying.
No, I get what you're implying. I just don't understand
What does that have to do with the SES?
the part.
Well, you're going around dressed like that. I assume it's for, you know,
It's
catch the attention.
practical.
long look up and down.
Have you seen what the bot suits can do?
Yes. I'll admit this is very comfortable. Unless, wait, are you saying that like the bot suits can replace? I didn't know they had that setting.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm pretty sure someone in my training crew would have discovered that. No.
That gotta look for.
I think there's been an inherent misunderstanding somewhere. There are no male SES officers. Like, there are a few
Yes,
civilians,
We know
but
that,
not many.
but like you've still got them around, right? Like,
Rule. Look around. This is the I look around. Like, this is a general makeup of crews and things. We don't...
Guys on the ship are just living their own lives. You're acting like they're. Oh no.
It all
more
comes
connections
together.
are being made.
Oh no, you heard that old yarn?
Darn.
We do not keep boys around for pleasure reasons, okay?
Oh, is that a rumor? About the SES? That's wild.
Why not?
What do you mean?
Because they're people who make their own choices.
And you think that they wouldn't choose to.
Okay, but
You make a good point,
Again.
Look. What the SES officers decide to do on their own free time is their own business. But no, we don't just keep boys around.
Perul just shakes her head in disbelief, throws up her hands.
Oh my god, we can introduce you to a bar once we get back to the Frigga.
Yeah, we have several of those. Kari will like sort of pat Perul on the shoulder. Sorry.
I would, yeah. Part of me is like, remember, it has been like 11 years since she last saw a guy. On the other hand, like talking to the Featherin, that's clearly not that.
Kari would give a big shrug at that.
Oh.
So this conversation is incredibly awkward. Let's talk about anything else.
Balancing that between entertaining and stream friendly was probably failed.
Keep in mind, my stream is rated mature, so like.
True.
That was a wild thing to think of. There's just people out there who think the SES keep boys around. Like, why? Like, anyways.
Traditionally speaking, the SES has never kept harem officers. No.
Traditionally speaking, if the GM existed, Lula would have questions.
Perul is just sitting here beginning to question her decision to join the
I mean, if it helps, Perul, there are definitely guys on the Frigga, clearly, because I stabbed one just before the disaster struck.
You did do that. I can confirm it.
Maybe don't try to find that one. He's sort of shitty. He shot at me.
Also lost a lot of blood. It's only been what, 3 days? He's probably
the first thing doesn't really seem to bother her that much. The second one, yeah, okay.
Wait a minute. Alula is now thinking about her patient from the Frigga. Oh my god, I hope he's okay.
I mean, he should. I
put a lot of work into that.
He's fine. I'm sure of it.
I got a lot of blood on me.
It got washed off.
Will it ever be clean? The storm has passed by relatively okay the second day.
No more trees. Have the engineers figured out any kind of a covering for the hole?
Yeah, they put a tarp.
Tarp.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's an advanced tarp.
It is an advanced tarp, but I feel like it's still. I feel like it's still putting in a heroic effort.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, we're gonna have to give this tarp some commendations when we're through.
They did other things, but the tarp is the most immediately noticeable thing to you.
Especially when, the lightning flashes and it shines straight through the tarp.
Is that a tarp?
I think we should probably walk this way now.
Yeah.
Ari turns away from the tarp.
We were wondering why we were getting into an area where very few people were, and then suddenly.
Weirdly enough, it's not cordoned off. People just aren't staying over that way.
Yeah.
It's also, I assume, like, sodden wet in that area as well.
Well, I mean, it's been cleaned.
Yeah, I assume the domes have a floor.
Yeah. Because essentially they're just the escape pods, but expanded with the extra materials. The escape pods were intended to be like dismantled if they needed to be turned into temporary structures or even long-term if necessary. But yeah, so they have floors.
Cool. I know that yesterday we were talking about the non-deadly kind of poisons in food. Do you want to hear some of the fantastic pranks that were played in my training garrison?
Oh no.
Who are you asking?
I mean both, just in general, Alula and Perul.
Perul is like, oh, tell me more. Yeah, big grin. Oh yes, now we're talking my language.
I feel like it's folks like you was the reason why we had training cases.
Training cases for what?
Lula just sort of generate gestures towards her medical officer outfit.
Oh, I mean, Kari just sort of shrugs. No one died. No one was even like properly hurt or ill for more than a day.
Perul looks slightly less interested.
They're just pranks.
It's just a prank, bro.
But if they seem not like entirely uninterested, Kari will go on to spiels about drama and prank wars between garrisons and individuals.
This is actually during training.
Yeah. she actually actively avoids names in every case, just in case.
Part of me is just imagining, like, you get to a certain one, and just from across the thing, you have someone just glaring at you. Ew.
Wasn't me.
For plausible deniability purposes, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Perul will occasionally like, oh, that's that sounds like another time when just like, and will absolutely just interrupt you in the middle of a story to start telling her own story over it.
That's fine, Kari,
which is and most of her stories are deeply unpleasant and vicious. And like, the sort of ones that go, oh yeah, that's kind of
Damn.
As a medical officer.
And then like, finishes a story, looks around like everyone who's expecting them to be laughing, and then just horror.
I imagine a lot of times for those stories, Kari will have this face like, oh my god, and then just sort of like halfway grin and thumbs up, and then jump back into one of her less traumatizing stories. Like, oof. Anyways.
So they took like 3 weeks cleaning him off the walls. Anyway.
Yeah, like a couple of the stories probably will like actually have moments. Oh, well, like, actually no. There will be one story where she sort of like laughs as she tells the story of something horrible happening to an SES-1 that they fought or captured, and then looking around at the
oh no.
Maybe it's a good idea to shut up now. Like,
yeah, that one probably has Kari full on wincing a bit, like, ugh.
Yeah, like real, like bad.
You did what?
I think we should not talk about that one and
but
not think about
once
that
she sort of remembers like where she is and who she's talking to, she's like, stop stalking and
it got better, did it?
It did.
We're gonna hope it did. Come on, move on.
The second day begins to draw to a close. You found yourselves relatively very well distracted today. Didn't really notice most of the storm.
Friendship.
Yay!
Friendship.
Friendship. With whom?
Mm.
The 1 second. Oh, well, yeah.
That's a lot of 16.
The night passes with relative ease as well.
We roll a 16 on our Ren shipping.
Ren shipping, that's true. There's at least one Ren here to ship, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, wait, there's 2 Rens here to ship.
Oh, there is. You're right.
Anyhow, the night passes by with relative calm, and in the morning, you see sunlight. You hear birds. And not just Kari.
Aha! It wasn't me!
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Perul just looking at it. Yeah. Stop bragging, you noisy assholes.
I think
You're
the storm
still
is gone.
not sure where the fuck the birds go during one of these.
I'm not. It pisses me off.
Take me with you, damn it. Yeah.
Like, haha, they can't keep us down. All right, I'll shoot you. Haha, can't keep us down, can't hit us.
So we can finally get off this planet.
That's the hope.
Wait, we can finally get off this planet.
Perul is awake now!
It takes some time.
Come on.
It takes some time to gather everyone. The storm has passed. You have relayed already the deal with the computer and the ship to the commanding officer. So everyone is on board, or relatively speaking. They
That's
break
the idea.
down.
Everyone wants off this planet.
It's true. One of the larger crates that had been strapped down actually contained a vehicle. One of the ground vehicles that the SES occasionally uses. That they use to strap most of the equipment they feel like they're going to need onto hover sleds to the back of, including the vat of Panacea.
Yeah. Did they go get any more of that Panacea while we were going to the other ship?
Nah.
Is this not
They
it?
did not.
Okay.
There was so much Panacea, my friend.
No, there was so much back on that ship.
There was.
Oh, I mean. Oh, right. This is the one we brought.
Yeah, the one that once you figured out that those things were hover sleds, that you felt like you had to take it.
And by we figured it out, someone else did. I think we all rolled absolutely terribly.
Yeah, it was one of the engineers from the pod that you crashed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they clearly came in and did a lot of fixing in order to get it working. It definitely was not functional before you got here.
Oh yeah,
Fully broken.
Totally. Yeah.
Do you need my air mask to help that copium?
With the camp finally mobilized, the crew is together and they are ready to move. And with this many guns, you suspect that the Quill Wolves won't be as big an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peru will warn that, like, they're probably going to be hungry because they've, had to shelter in for a couple of days.
Oh yeah.
So be ready, but yeah, this is. He's not particularly worried. Just keep your
That's
eyes
a lot
out.
of security.
Honestly, they don't even show up.
I like to think some of them saw from a distance the absolute amount of people and stuff. We're like, no.
Their pack bigger than our pack. More or less.
She is slightly disappointed. She did want to just kill one on the way out, but
You may still get the chance.
I assume we avoid the fungus wood.
Oh yeah, In fact, the trajectory you take is a wide berth around it.
Yeah.
Especially considering it seemed to be consigned to exactly one small area.
Yeah.
By the way, just as a thing, did we like? No, actually, no. Pearl wouldn't have even thought about to ask that, so never mind.
Well, now I'm curious.
I was going to say, did they, since the communications seem to be doing a little bit better, did they put out a thing saying, "Hey, if there's anyone else out there, shelter for a couple of days and then meet us here"?
Oh, that would have been definitely something the commanding officer did. For certain. Like, communications are established on the planet as a whole, in addition to now being able to reach orbit. Since, I mean, think specifically it was Adam that allowed you to reach orbit for the communications. But there are other groups traveling, you see, as you near the location of the Starfarer ship.
Good. We can all leave.
Hooray.
Every time there's a group of, SES-clad people wandering along, armed and everything, Fool's like, yeah, that's right, they're friends now.
Yeah, they're friends now.
Concern. And okay, with only a little bit more traveling, you end up at the Starfarer ship.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the same condition you left it in. It does not seem.
So. If it's not, we've all got bigger problems.
True.
Yeah.
But again, the only damage to the ship is the gash that you came in through.
Look, our luck hasn't been incredible. I think it was a valid concern.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just still think that it wouldn't matter. There was nothing we could do to prevent him from leaving if he decided to leave.
Valid. Perul takes a deep breath and readies herself for the orange explosions. She was also not ready for the inevitable yellow implosions as well.
The captain actually does cordon off the Starfarer ship, and specifically asks you, Hestia, and Ren to accompany her to the AI that you mentioned.
Fair enough.
A lot of whining from the orange and yellow section.
Yeah, I imagine. Now I'm imagining Newt's reaction. It's like he's crying. Why would you do this to me? It's right there.
A valid concern. That said, it is nearing to 12 o'clock.
Yes.
And I think this is probably a good place to cut it.
Probably. We can start off with a conversation with
I am
Adam.
far less tired than that yawns. Just
I am not.
That is fair.
not crazies in the chat.
You go on to Peru and go, okay, we can get on the ship and then that will let us to get off the ship. Okay, so we're going to leave this till next time. What?
Yeah.
No. We keep going.
No, we're leaving it till next time.
I'm sure everything will go well and nothing will
will possibly go wrong.
So
It's not
I'm
like-
looking to do these sessions a little more frequently than the last couple. Because, damn.
Yeah.
We will figure out an actual date later on, and I will let you all know. But for now, I think this is the right place to close it for tonight. I want to thank my players for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting and DMing, jamming.
Indeed.
And I would like to thank everybody who joined us for chat today. It's deeply appreciated every time.
Thanks, chat. We love you.
Thank you. We might.
And you will be able to find me on Tuesday at 7 p.m. At 7:30, I will be continuing Beastie Ball. And then on Thursday, I will be continuing In Stars in Time. The next session of this will probably be another month or two. Again, I will keep you posted.
You know what else is going to be in a month?
Oh, yeah. Akmeros next month.
I haven't put out the official announcement yet, but you're hearing it here first. February 22nd, the next session of Akmeros. We're going to leave Akmakajara.
Convenient.
Oh, we're doing the paralleling thing again.
It keeps happening.
We get to leave.
Yeah, we are doing the parallel thing again, aren't we, Ken? We're getting off this planet, aren't we, Ken? Get me off this planet, Ken.
Smiley face.
We'll find out next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
When the light is running low and the shadows start to grow and the places that you know seem like fantasy, there's a light inside your soul that's still shining in the cold with the truth, the promise in our hearts. Don't forget, I'm with you in